Long ago, deep in the ocean, there was a big underwater world. The sea people lived peacefully with all the other sea creatures. The king of the sea lived in the deep sea castle with his mother and 6 daughters and ruled the seas. One of the daughters was the little mermaid, the youngest and prettiest of them all. The little mermaid loved the surface world. She would often swim up to the surface to see the beauty. She felt that without the world above, she would be unhappy. Beautiful fish, shells of various sizes and shapes of the wondrous sea failed to satisfy her. Not even the stories told by her father would make her smile. One day, the little mermaid left her home and secretly came to the surface. She saw a ship rolling and pitching at sea. Besides the ship, a young man was playing his flute. The little mermaid started singing with the music, and suddenly the young man fell from the ship because of a wild wave. The little mermaid immediately rescued him. She brought him to the shore and rested him gently against the rock. She fell in love with this young man. On seeing the man waiting, she left for the sea palace. The young man was very grateful to her, thinking that she had rescued him. The little mermaid always thought about the young man. One day, she visited the witches of the seashore and asked her to grant her a wish. I want to walk and dance on the land. The witch listened, stirring her potion. The witch agreed on one condition. You will be able to walk but not talk. You will lose your power of speech. The mermaid agreed. She started to swim to the surface and her tail started to fade and was replaced with 2 legs. The little mermaid made it to shore and the young man came to her. Have we met before? The young man asked. Yes. The little mermaid tried to respond but could not talk. She handed the flute to the young man. I heard your voice. You saved me, said the young man. I was looking for you. The little mermaid couldn't talk, so she smiled at him. The flute explained everything to the young man. After that, they lived happily ever after. Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and 2 stepsisters. They didn't like her and made her do all the household work, while her stepsisters just roam around the house in their fancy dresses. Her stepmother and stepsisters behaved awfully with Cinderella and treated her like a servant. One day, a letter from the king came to their house, stating that the king was having a ball. His son, the prince, would be choosing a wife. Hearing this news, everyone was excited. Cinderella too wanted to attend. Mother, may I go to the ball? She asked. You can go as long as you finish all the work and help your sisters, his stepmother said. Cinderella worked as fast as she could to get everything done, but there was always something left. She also made dresses for her stepsisters to wear to the ball. At last, her stepsisters were dressed to go and all of Cinderella's work was complete. But Cinderella was tired now. She didn't even have a dress for the ball. She was so sad that she ran into the garden and cried. My wishes never come true. Never, my dear, said the voice. As Cinderella looked up, a woman with a wand and a kind smile stood in front of her. She was her fairy godmother. With a wave of her hand, she made Cinderella look like a princess. She gave her beautiful gown, glass slippers, and shiny black horses to take her to the ball. But before leaving, her godmother warned, this magic will only last until midnight. You must reach back home by then. Cinderella entered the palace and everyone was struck by her beauty. She was the prettiest girl in the world. Even her stepsisters didn't recognize her. The handsome prince saw her and fell in love with her. The prince danced with her the whole night. When the clock struck midnight, she remembered her godmother's words and left the palace in a hurry. She dropped one glass slipper behind on the castle footsteps. The next day, the prince ordered his men to find the girl whose foot fit into the glass slipper. When they reached Cinderella's house, her stepsisters tried their best to fit their big feet into the glass slipper. Finally, Cinderella tried the slipper and it fit perfectly. The prince recognized her and married her in a grand ceremony.